Hey there, guys. Welcome to my channel. I'm Sister Cerise, and I'm so happy you clicked on my video. If it's your first time here, it's finally nice to meet you. If you're a returning subscriber, viewer, I thank you so much for coming back. And I really hope that you're enjoying your day today. Guys, make sure you make the best of today. Make sure you stay till the end as well, because right here at the screen, you can click on the screen and there's going to be another video. Today, we're going to cover some of my own thoughts about Ryan Reynolds and comparing him to Ryle. Now, Ryle is from the movie It Ends With Us with Justin Baldoni and co-star Blake Lively. Blake Lively is the real life wife of Canadian actor Ryan Reynolds. Now, Ryan Reynolds is out right now. A lot of people are talking negatively about him. A lot of people are saying that, yeah, he's not the dude who he comes off like, really funny, really down to earth and just comical, like always comes up with content. And what they're saying is he's not really that funny in person. He actually on set can be a little bit more miserable than what people want to work with. So I've been thinking to myself as well, what if he is the real life Ryle? What if he is the real life jealous husband as well? You know, like, I think to myself, when he was on set, if you and me can see that Justin Baldoni and Blake Lively did have a connection at one point, in their dailies, like when we look at certain video takes, there had to be some type of chemistry, especially when they did their late night messaging back and forth. And the one famous message is where she's like talking to Justin Baldoni and he's like, "Oh, it was so nice to see the sweet Blake today." And she's like, "I don't know the sweet Blake." And he's like, "Oh, don't worry. I like the asshole Blake too." And she's like, "I know that one. And so do my suppositories." You know, like they were joking back and forth like that. And it seemed like there was some type of a connection. And if we can see that, then for sure, I'm thinking in my head, now this is only my own, I'm alleging this. I haven't really heard it too much. Now, I did watch something from Candace Owens, which I will get into, but I haven't heard it too much out there about people thinking that maybe Ryan had a lot more to do with this situation than what we want to believe. I think that he felt there was some type of connection. I feel like he was like, my wife is really enjoying this man. My wife is talking about this man a lot. My wife trusts this guy so much that she doesn't even want an intimacy coach. Let me dive deeper into the two of them. Now, there is that famous text message that is said it's sent from Blake, but Candace Owens is saying that she heard wind that it was actually sent from Ryan Reynolds and that Ryan Reynolds sent that dragon text. And you know, I thought it was quite masculine myself. When I read that, I was like, this sounds like a dude. Like, what woman speaks that way when she feels like she's being taken advantage of, when she feels like she wants to do more and she wants to be, you know, more of a producer and get credits and stuff. What woman talks like that? I think with a connection that they had, wouldn't she come across a little bit different? Anyway, I do feel that Ryan is controlling the whole situation. I feel that he has his little magic celebrity wand and he's trying to, you know, magically change it all. I do believe that he allowed things to go to his head. And I also believe that he was the one behind the SNL idea and took Blake there. And Blake was probably like, "Oh, okay, let's do it, honey. You are more the experienced one. You're the one with all the money. You're the one that has all the connections. All right, let's do it. Let's make light of this whole serious situation and show everyone, other celebrities in the audience for this epic event, and other people who are going to be viewing it, observers, fans. Let's see if this works. And they went on SNL and it was just a disaster. And I do believe that this is something that's going to continue to happen. I don't believe that Ryan Reynolds is going to be able to dig himself out of this ditch. And I also believe that and there's a lot of believing, because I don't want to insinuate, I just want to come across like, just everything's coming from my own brain. I don't want to say that it's really happening. I'm just in my own little la la land, and I'm thinking, I know that type of dude. I've dated enough men to say, I think he's the type of dude that is running the household. That's really into saying, I know what's best. This is what we're going to do. Here, let me take the phone. I'm going to leave the text. Here, I'm going to make a plan to go to SNL. Everyone's going to love us after this. I just feel like he was trying so hard to reestablish his star, so to speak, in Hollywood, that the more he did, the more everything got pushed against him. It was like being in a riptide in an ocean, trying to swim against the waves, and now they're just drowning. And I truly believe that that's going to continue to happen right up until March 2026 when they go for their trial. I've been making a few videos on Blake and Baldoni and also Ryan Reynolds, and I feel within myself that, yes, maybe there were moments that Justin Baldoni was being overly friendly. There were probably a few times where he was like a little too close to Blake. So there were things that he did that just seemed like, really, brah? For the most part, I don't feel like he was going over the boundary of SH. I feel like he was feeling comfortable with Blake, and he's like, wow, this is really, this chemistry we have, and, the plans are coming together, the production is looking good, let's get this going. But then all of a sudden, things started to snowball, and I'm wondering why. Was Ryan behind the scenes as a jealous husband? Was he the one that got Blake to go to the courts and file a grievance complaint? Did he say to her, okay, go file a complaint? You must want him. You must like him, because you said that, you don't like him. And, because obviously if Ryan is guilty of sending that text, and if he is guilty of a few other things, then that means he was way too involved. And why would a husband get so involved? Usually because they are jealous, usually because they are insecure. And so he could have been getting involved for those reasons. And at the same time saying to his wife, hey, do you like him? Like, why did you get so close in this video? Why did you allow him to do that in that video? That's too close. That's not acting. That looks real to me. It looks like you're getting just as close to him as you would with me. Actors don't need to act that deeply into the scene. And, he could have said, I think you like him. If you don't, then you're going to have to go file that grievance. And these are just little thoughts of mine right now as we go further and further into the months, as we get closer to 2026. For me, it's starting to look a little shady. And I'm like, you know what? Behind the scenes, we never know what's going on in these Hollywood homes. We never know what is happening with the husbands and the wives. And I want you guys to look out for my next video that I'm going to be bringing out. And it is about Alec Baldwin and his wife. And his wife is like cussing him on the red carpet. And she's saying, I'm talking, right? And then people are like, whoa, she snapped at him. But it only makes me wonder how much he probably cuts her off at home. But we're going to get into that in another video. In this video, I'm feeling like Blake may be even controlled a little bit more than what we know. Even though she has this whole persona of I'm this and I'm that, and she still was a mean girl, so allegedly, on the Gossip Girls show when she was in that series. And it really did seem to me like a lot of those co-stars just didn't want to have anything more to do with her afterwards. And they felt like, yeah, she just wants to be the main star, the main controller. She just wants to be the one that's front and center all the time, and that's understandable because to get to the top in Hollywood, you do have to put yourself front and center. You do have to stand up, be strong, and let the people know who you are. Otherwise, you'll fall down for anything and you become nothing. So she got to where she is by being who she is. But at the same time, there's a way to do it, right? There's a way to get yourself front and center without elbowing everybody and uppercutting everyone and saying, hey, move out the way, hey, move out the way, move out the way. Like, she doesn't need to do all that. And I do believe that there was probably something that she was doing like that. And then so at the end of the day, she's gotten herself to this position. And I believe now throughout the whole filming process, I do believe that her husband was a main force, a main drive behind a lot of her decisions. Whether or not Ryan was jealous and not a rile. Maybe he wasn't a rile, right? Maybe he was just like, oh, baby, he called you fat. Oh, baby, he wants to lift you up in the air. Oh, baby, he touched you and smelled you and kissed you too long. Oh, yeah, we got to fix this. Maybe he was that supportive husband. And I'm just like putting him in a category that is inappropriate. It could be. But again, I'm just prefacing it. These are my thoughts, and I'm sharing these thoughts. I have nothing to prove them at all. They're just saying, what if? Because again, we don't know what goes on in Hollywood homes. We don't know what goes on behind the cameras, and we certainly don't know what goes on behind closed doors. So, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below what your thoughts are of Ryan Reynolds. Have yourself an amazing day. Make sure you click on the video right here and go ahead and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button because it lets me know that you enjoyed your time with me and it lets YouTube know. But more importantly, please treat yourself good today. I'm so happy you clicked on this video and you stayed till the end. It really means a lot to me. But also show up for yourself. Be good to yourself today. Some days we have rough days. Today I'm having one of those days, and I'm going to be honest with you guys. I have braces on. I live in the Dominican Republic, and I feel like I'm not getting the best service possible. I feel like my dentist got my teeth to a certain position, and she may not know how to proceed on to the next part of the treatment. And I just feel like, be honest with me. So it has really taken a chunk out of my energy today, and it has taken a chunk out of my soul. I was crying, I was upset, and then I thought to myself, I can change this around just by thinking better, and she's not the only dentist in the world. I can go for a second opinion. And also not only that, God will guide me. So if you're having one of those days where you're down and you're crying and you're losing a little bit of faith and it has to do with your health or relationships or anything of that nature, then be sure to remember this too shall pass. And not only that, you are worth more. So be more for yourself. Just like you showed up and stayed till the end, please do the same thing for you. Have yourself an amazing day. I love you.